You're not broke because you're not talented. You're broke because nobody taught you how to run an entertainment business. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Caroline Ravn. I've been a full-time professional magician for the past 12 years. I also do a lot of emceeing, and on this channel here on YouTube, I am talking all things business side of show business. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing if you ever wanted to go full-time as an entertainer or even as a coach. So I wanted to talk to you about the real reason that most entertainers stay broke. It's not because of, lack of talent or lack of enthusiasm or whatever it is that you might think, or because we're waiting for a magical manager. However, I believe that most of us are broke because we don't really know how to run an entertainment business, or any sort of business for that matter. So in this video, I thought I'd just sit down and talk to you about what I have seen as somebody who's been doing this for a long time, somebody who has been working with multiple agents, and also somebody who has walked through approximately 45 people through the business side of show business in my 13-week coaching program. So I want to just touch upon a few things that I believe to be true when it comes to people who struggle to make a living as a performer. So for most of us, it has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with how much you practice. It has nothing to do with how long you've been doing the thing. But what really matters here is the structure and foundation you are building for your business. For many of us, we have forgotten that business is the longer word in show business. And as long as we continue living that way, we're gonna be struggling to get the next gig. Because if we're being true to ourselves here, we have no idea then where the next gig is coming from. As you're watching me now, it is currently 1:43 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I had to double check. I am about to go do a show. I'm gonna leave my office in like 30 minutes. And the reason I got the gig that I'm going to is not because I sat around and waited for somebody to magically appear and need a gig. Instead, I'm very proactive when it comes to finding people to work with. I have built a structure around my business that not only attracts clients to me, but also makes me a gig-getting machine, if you want to call it that. But for me, that's been the key to figure out a way to really structure my business and structure my days. And especially now, I'm a twin toddler mom. I can't just go around and wait for something magical to happen. And for most of us, there's never gonna be a break. Like we're never gonna be discovered. And I mean, we might apply to AGT, BGT, SGT, is that what we're calling the Sweden's Got Talent one? For most of us, we might apply, but how likely is it that we're actually gonna win the thing? And even if we win the thing, there's no guarantee for us to actually be getting anything from there. There's this one person that I personally know who won one of these things, and he was famous for 15 minutes, but now he's back struggling again, and that is because he doesn't have a structure. He's crazy talented, but he doesn't know how to run a business. And I don't want that to be you. So let's see here. So I think the number one harsh truth for me to share with you is that nobody's ever gonna find you. So nobody's ever gonna be,
oh, I'm gonna go on a hunt and try to find somebody who I can represent.
And I'm laughing because that is basically what we have been told. Like that's how movies have been written, and TV shows and other performers, they have told this story. But for most of us, it's not gonna be true. So okay, how can I say this in a nice way? I can't. Broke entertainers usually just wait for opportunity to jump into their lap and it's gonna be great. And for the booked entertainers like myself, we create the opportunities. So we don't just sit around and wait for something to happen. We create every single thing that we're doing. And there are different ways to do this. And let me just give you one thing in this video to take away, like an actionable step for you. And it's something that I teach in my program. It's called the Rule of the 100. I did not make this up. I think I stumbled upon this by Alex Hermosi a few years ago. And it's basically, you do one of three things. So either you will spend $100 on ads, or you'll reach out to 100 people every day, or you'll create 100 minutes of content. And that's not necessarily meaning create a video that's gonna be 100 minutes, because that's unreasonable. Instead, it's basically me sitting down creating a video for you guys right now. And as I'm recording this, it's currently, what day is it today? It's 8th of October 2025, and I know that peak season is coming, like the peak season for most entertainers. It's literally around the corner, and I still get requests for like Christmas shows and that kind of stuff, like end of year celebrations. And if we're not proactive now, we're gonna miss the wave, right? So the people who are gonna get the gigs are the ones who have already talked to the clients, or the people who have, you know, the best ads or showing up on social media or wherever. And I think that's where most people get it wrong, because we sit around and wait. We hope for the phone to ring. We hope for that email to come, because we now have the website and we did try the contact form and all the things we tell ourselves, instead of just creating the things that we want. I'm not saying that if you send out 100 emails that you're gonna get 100 gigs, because you're not. But I'm saying that I spend approximately 100 minutes or even more every day creating content, and it might be something like this, going live on Instagram, doing shorts, rewriting my newsletters, whatever it is. And I am reaching out to 100 people over email every single day, and I'm spending, actually right now, because it's peak season, I'm spending around $250 a day on ads. And it sounds like a lot, and it is, because I haven't shared the system with you here in this video. If you have a system for this, it's gonna make it so much easier. So everything is basically done on like autopilot, basically. It takes some time to set it up, and you need the right tools and all the things. But once it's done, it's done. Okay, and just having the freedom that comes with. I don't know if you followed me for a while or if you're new to this. Last year I lost my dad to ALS, and having this system in play already, like I felt like I could take the 2 weeks and be in hospice with my dad without ever having to worry. Like I knew that my business machine that I already built was not going to fail me just because I needed to grieve my dying father, or even after he passed, or when my dog suddenly had to be put down a few months ago, or when I had my eye surgery. You know, life happens. Life will happen to all of us. And without the solid foundation, I would be panicking. I would have not felt okay with taking the time off to grieve. I would not have felt okay with taking a step back or taking 6 weeks off to be with my twins this summer, because I would be constantly worrying about where the next money is coming from. And the next thing I wanted to share with you is that talent don't necessarily mean business, right? So you can be the most talented person in the room, but if nobody knows you exist, how can they book you? Well, the simple answer is just that they can't. So the game changer comes when you start thinking about yourself as a business owner instead of just an entertainer. And I'm saying just an entertainer because, I mean, if that's what you want to do, yay you. If you just want to do the gigs that come your way, yay you. I will support you in that. However, if you want to take this more seriously, and if you're really thinking that you want to make it as a professional entertainer or even part-time professional entertainer, then you need a different system. You need a different mindset to be able to do the things that I now get to do with freedom too. Like that's my number one thing for people who, everybody who come my way, everybody I coach, everybody who takes the program, everybody who just steps into my office. That's the number one thing. I don't want to feel like I'm a slave to having to work now, because I love magic so much. I love magic so much. I love performing so much. But if that's taken away from me because I was a bad marketer, that'd be heartbreaking to me. So that is why I've dedicated so much time and so much effort into creating this foundation that works for me. And not only for me, but works for other entertainers that I've helped too. In Sweden, in Scandinavia, in Europe, in the world. And if it can be true for me, and if it can be true for them, why wouldn't it be true for you too? So even if you don't decide to do anything with this video, or you take away basically nothing except for my pretty background, take some time just for yourself and think about, like, why do I want to do this? What is the plan? Where do I want to go? And why do I want to be there? Just building a simple business plan for yourself, that's going to be a huge game changer. So if you feel like this is something for you, if you want a different structure, a better business for yourself as an entertainer, and if you really want to take this more seriously, there is a link in the description below to get to the wait list for the booked calendar blueprint. It is a 13-week, step-by-step, all templates done for you, weekly modules, weekly group calls, direct access to my WhatsApp, direct access to all the other people who have been part of this, because we're all in the same group chat still, and we're having a great time in there and sharing ideas and giving each other feedback. If you feel like that's something for you, do take this opportunity to take it seriously, because as I'm recording this, it is still early in October, But the season is here now. If you want to book gigs, this is the time to do it, because January and February is going to be dead. March, April, well, that's going to be a lot of conferences, and then May, June, July, August. There's not a lot to do when it comes to corporate gigs. However, then it starts again in August, and we want to make sure that we are following basically the trend of where the market is. So the sooner you can get on this, the better it is. Again, if you don't want to do the program with me, that's 100% okay, but I want you to think about this in a structured way, right? And I have so many free resources here on YouTube. There is an advent calendar with 25 different business related videos. That's a great first step for you if you don't feel like it's time for you to invest the time and money into this. 25 free videos just for you to have a look at. It's all the things you need to, the business plan, the ideas, the social media, the planning, all the things that you're gonna need just to kind of get you started. However, if you're ready to really level up, I'll be here for you. So basically, just to sum up what I just ranted about for a bit, it's like 3 things that I kind of boil this down to. And it's, you need to have the right marketing set in place to make sure that you're attracting the right people you want to work with. If you have old marketing materials, like you performing for kids and you don't do kid shows anymore, or if you want to do like big gala shows, but you only have yourself doing like a street performance, that's not going to speak the same language. So we want to make sure we're marketing to the right people where they are being at the moment. And then the second thing is to have the systems in place to be able to do the things that we want to do when and if life happens, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us, that we're just going to have to hit the brakes and then let the business run like by itself, basically, like magic, I was going to say, but that felt too cheeky. So I've said it. I'm sticking with it. But also one more thing I kind of touched upon, but not really went too deep into, that is knowing what it is that we're currently offering. So, getting the gig is one thing, but actually like talking to a client as if we know what it is we're offering, it's a big change for everybody to go through. So just to take one example from yesterday, some client called me. Well, he wasn't a client, actually. His wife had seen my show last year, I believe, and now he's planning something for the Christmas and also something for next year. And I basically walked him through what it would be like to work with somebody like me. And in the call, it was kind of clear that I am not going to be the best fit for what they're doing for the Christmas show. However, I'll be doing the one next year. And in the conversation, when we have this like idea of us being the most trusted advisor they could ever hire for something, that's the kind of value that we can give to them now. So I hear what he's saying. I know I'm not going to be the right person for their 30 people in a barn kind of situation. However, I know 5 people who would be perfect for this. So that's what I tell them. I don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to guard my gig that's coming next week or next year. Maybe that's when, Instead, I'm going to be like, you know what? Can't remember his name. Let's call him Kent. You know what, Kent? I would absolutely love to do this for you, but even more, I would love for this to be a huge success for you and all the guests coming. I'm going to suggest to you to think about these few other people instead. And he was beyond grateful that I was so honest with him. Yes, of course, I lost some money, but I also gained the trust of a client. Who do you think he's gonna think about next time he's planning something or he hears about somebody planning something? Of course, I'm gonna be the one that he comes to, because he now trusts me. He trusts my intuition, he trusts my contacts, he trusts that I will only tell them that I am a good choice if I am a good choice. And the only reason that I can do this is because I have the economical muscles, whatever you want to call this, but I have the security now to be able to do this. So since I run this as a business, I know where the next gigs are coming from. All things can happen. Everybody saw the pandemic, and of course, I lost a lot of gigs like everybody else did. Nobody saw that coming. Maybe some people did, but I didn't see it coming because I'm not a mentalist. So just having that in mind, it's such a big change for us. And if you feel like you want to take it more seriously, guess what? You're gonna have to take it more seriously. Well, the good news is that you don't have to feel like you're gonna be some corporate robot, creating the things that I'm basically talking about here. However, you're gonna need to build a foundation for your business. Whether if you're doing this part-time, full-time, or however you wanna do this, it's always nice to have a foundation, to have everything set in a system so you know what you're doing when you're doing it, and basically that you can have a life on the side of this as well, because that's what I'm seeing a lot too. A lot of entertainers struggling because they don't know where the next gig is coming from, how to do the thing, things, their website isn't working, they don't have an EPK, all the things. Instead, I want us to live a more balanced life, because there's no reason for us to not be able to still love magic, still perform, and still have a wonderful personal life and all the things too. Because people ask me that all the time, like, Caroline, how is it that you can be, you know, I'm an author and I'm an MC, a professional magician, I do cruise ships, I do this, I coach, I have so many things, I'm also a manager now. How do I have the time and capacity to do that while also being a twin toddler mom? And the secret is the systems. Like, I have built the foundation so I don't have to work 24/7. Instead, I can work from 9 to 4 and I know that I'll be done. And in that time, I have time to have meetings. I talk to my coach. I do the things I need for the program. I record this. I double check my ads. I do all the things. And then I can come home to my family and I don't feel stressed that I didn't get enough things done in a day. Because that's what I used to feel. I used to have so many frustrational things happening in me because I didn't feel like I was in control. And just having that thing to kind of lean back on has been amazing. So if you feel like you want to go all in, if you want to invest your time, money, energy, and future basically into something, I highly recommend jumping into the waiting list for the booked calendar blueprint, because we are going to open the doors kind of soon again. I was not planning to do another one now. Doors have been almost pushed in, so I feel like I have to open it up again for this season. I was not going to do one until next year, but I'm going to do one this year again. I'm currently running one. We're in week 5, so I'll be opening one again in a couple of weeks. So if you want to be the first ones to get to know when it's open, this is the time to join the waiting list. However, if you just want to look around my free stuff, feel free to do so. The best thing is going to be the advent calendar. I'm going to link that for you as well in the description below. Amazing. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. Please share this with somebody who needs to hear this. Leave a comment below and give me a big like if you thought this was helpful at all. Amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.